Welcome. Today we will discuss statistics. We'll go through one example, that is example 8. Find the arithmetic mean of the following data. So this table is given. Observe this table. Here X means we can take as the marks or the weights, and F means number of students or frequency. So for this data we have to find out the arithmetic mean. And to find the arithmetic mean, we have a simple method. The method which we know so far is simple method. So that is mean x bar is equal to sigma fi xi by sigma fi. This is the method which we know so far. This is simple method. So we can multiply the frequency and the value, and we have to add, and we have to divide that sum with the sum of frequencies, we get the mean. This is simple method. Now we are learning the new method, that is deviation method. So what is deviation method? Let's discuss now. Deviation, in this name itself we have got a hint, that is deviation means difference. So we will find the mean of the given data in this method. So this is also very easy. So first, before that, we have to draw a table. So here we have to write x. This is f. That means we can write it as fi, and this is xi. We will write the values xi, that is 10, 12, 14, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. And the frequencies are, so the value 10 has come 4 times, and the value 12 has come 5 times, and 14 has come 8 times. So like this. So for this method we have to assume the mean. In the beginning itself we have to assume the mean. Actually with this method x bar is equal to sigma fi xi by sigma fi, by using this method we can find the mean. But here what we are doing, the before finding the mean, actual mean, we are assuming one mean. So this is assumption method. So assume the mean. That mean is, assumed mean is denoted with capital A, is equal to, so from the value of x we have to choose one. So which value we have to choose? Any one. Suppose if you want to choose the mean as, actually most of the times we have to assume the mean in the middle. So don't take the edges. So you can take 10 also, but so if you take 10, then the no need of using this method, because this method and the previous simple method both look like the same. If you take the beginning number as a mean, so take the middle term. Suppose this is 16. I would like to take this 16 as assumed mean. I am assuming 16 as A. And after that, so in this column, we have to find the deviation. Deviation means difference. So we have to find the difference. D is equal to, for the values xi and the assumed mean, we have to take the difference xi minus A. This we have to find. So xi minus A, we should find out the difference between xi and the assumed mean. Xi is 10 and the assumed mean is 16. So take 10 minus 16, that is equal to, 10 minus 16 is equal to minus 6. And take the next one, that is, next number is xi, that is x2 we can suppose, because at I we have to substitute 2, then it will become the second value. 12 minus the assumed mean 16. 12 minus 16, that is equal to minus 4. And do the same. 14 minus 16, it will become minus 2. And 16 minus assumed mean 16, that is 0. And take 18 minus 6, that is 2. And 18 minus 20 minus 18, that is 20 minus 16, that is 4, and 22 minus 16, that is 6. So after that we have to multiply in the simple method. We have to multiply the frequency with the x value. So we have to multiply the frequency. Instead of x, we have to multiply this fi with the deviation, that is difference. So we have to multiply fi into di. Di means d1, d2, d2 like that. So fi into di, then what will become? 4 into minus 6. Take this 4, frequency 4 into the difference minus 6. 4 into minus 6 is equal to minus 24. And take the one more, that is fi is 5. So 5 into minus 4 is equal to minus 20. Next take 8 into minus 2, that is equal to minus 16. Next take 10 into 0 is equal to 0. Next 7 into 2. After this we have to find the sum. That sum is called, actually this is the product of fi into di. So we are adding all these, then this value will become sigma fi and di is equal to, just add 12 plus 16, that is 28 plus 14, 42. 42 minus 16, that is 26. 26 minus 20, 6. 6 minus 24, that is minus 18. So this value will be minus 18. After that, mean in the deviation method, that is x bar is equal to assumed mean plus the sum of the difference of the product of the sum of the product of the frequency and the deviation by sigma fi. In this we have to substitute. So x bar is equal to a, assumed mean is 16, plus sigma fi di is minus 18 by sigma fi, that is sum of frequencies. So we have to add the frequencies, that is sigma fi, that is equal to add 4 plus 2 6 plus 7 13 plus 10 23 plus 8 31 plus 5 36, 36 plus 4 40. So sigma fi is equal to 40. Substitute in it. So simplification, 16 and plus into minus minus, and you can cut 2 9s are 2 20s are, it will become minus 19, 9 by 20. So don't go for the LCM here. Here what should we do? Simply we will simplify only 9 by 20. So that means you have to divide the 9 with 20. So 9 is not usable, so keep point here and keep 0 here. 90, 24s are 80, 10. So after just we kept a point, that's why you can keep 1 0. The division 25 is 100. So it will become 16 minus 0.45. So before point we have to write 0. So 16 minus 0.45. So 16 means we have to write 16 as 16.00 and 0.45. Take subtraction. So borrow 9 10 5 5.51. This is 15.55. This is the mean of the given data. Suppose if you use this method in the simple method, shall we get the same? Just you check once and you know how to do. So further the table will be like this. First you should write xi and fi. The next step, just write fi into xi and add all these. So we get the sum sigma fi xi. So with the formula x bar is equal to sigma fi xi by sigma fi, you can get the mean of the given data. Let us do the simple method. This is xi, this is fi. Here I have to multiply xi into fi or fi into xi. So we will write the values of xi. Xi means 80, 10 to 22. Just write all the numbers 10 to 22. and write the frequencies. The frequencies are 4, 5, 8. For the first number, that is 4, 5, 8, 10, 7, 4, 2. In this method, no need to find the deviation. Just multiply 10 into 4, that is 40, and 12 into 5, 60, 14 into 8, 112, and this is 160. Just multiplying. This is 126, this is 80, this is 44. So after that, we have to find sigma fi xi. So then it will be sigma fi xi is equal to, so add all these. So we get the value of 622. And here also we have to add the frequencies, that is sigma fi, that is equal to 40. We are using a simple method. So x bar is equal to sigma fi xi by sigma fi. So sigma fi, that is 622, fi xi is 622, by this is 40. Simplify. So what will you get? 2 20s are 2 3s are 2 1s are 2 1s are 311 by 20. So divide 311 with 20. 21s are 20. 11. 25 is 100. 7. Just keep the decimal 0. 25 is 100. We get 10. So we can keep 0 because we kept two decimal once. So 25 is 100. Actually, this is not the rough work. This is a part of the solution. So no need to write in another paper. Just here itself, just draw a line and do the work which is related to the question. So this is 15.5. Right here 15.5. Just compare the values. Both 15.55 and here also we get the same. But why we choose this method? Both answers are same. Why should we do this deviation method instead of doing the simple method? Because in the simple method we get the highest number values. Here we got 622, that is a larger number. So it is not much easy to, because here only smaller numbers 4, 5, 8 like that. Suppose if you have here 1000, 125, 625, 529 like that, then it takes much time to calculate this product. So that's why we have to choose this, because here only we get the, suppose among all the numbers xi, we can choose one as the assumed mean, because we are assuming that 16 is the, maybe 16 will be the mean. But what happened? 16, now that means we are comparing, the assumed mean is 16, actual mean is 15.55. That means the difference is 0.45. So most of the times mean will be in the middle of the data. So we have to assume the middle term only. So here we get the highest value. That's why only we should not use this method. So this is deviation method. And actually we have one more method, that is step deviation method. That is much easier than these two. But that will be for the in the 10th class. So we'll discuss there. And we will find the median. How to find the median? Median. Yes. In this term itself, we have the answer. That is, median means middle term. So what will be the middle term? First, let us take one example. The examples we can discuss. The example is, find the median of, for these terms we have to find the median. That means we have to find the middle term. So by seeing this one, so we will say that the median is 30. But it is wrong. Why? 30 is not the median. Because here we did one mistake. What is the mistake? 30 is not the median, because these all the values are not in the ascending or in the descending order. First of all, we have to write all these values in the ascending order or the descending order. Why should we write? Suppose some persons will take the take this question as 70, 30, 20, 60, 50. Find the median. Then by observing these values, so he will say that the median will be 20. Is it correct? For the same data, here we got the median 30, here we got the median 20. How is it possible? In mathematics, it is not possible. So all the students or all the teachers, all the people should use the same method. So if anyone find the median for this data, all persons should get the same value. That's why we have to write these numbers in the ascending or descending order. So I would like to write the smallest first. The smallest is 20. After that, the greatest next number is 30. Next, take one more. That is 50, 60, 70. Here, find the number of terms here. How many terms are there? So we'll write the number of terms. Number of terms is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 terms. So then the middle term will be, so we can't make it half. That's why we have to add 1. 5 plus 1 by 2. That is equal to 6 by 2. That is equal to third term, not 3. Third term will be the median. So the median is equal to, just let us find the third term. What is the third term? First, second, third. From the right side also, the third term is 50 only. First, second, third. So the median is 50. And let us take one more. Suppose for the same question, if 80 is added, then what will happen? Let us take one more example. For the same question, find the median of 20, 30, 50, 60, 70, 80. Then what will happen? Here also we have to write the terms in the ascending or descending order, any order. So already these numbers are in the ascending order. So before finding the median, we have to write the number of terms. So number of terms equal to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 terms are there. So for the 6 terms, how should we find the middle term? This is not possible. Suppose if we take the third term, let us suppose the third term is the middle term. From the left side, third term is 50. From the right side, the third term is 60. How is it possible? It's not possible. That's why for this, what should we have to do? First, we should find the median terms or the middle terms is equal. We can make the 6 half. That's why 6 by 2 term and 6 by 2 plus 1 term. That means 6 by 2 is third term. And 6 by 2 is 3 plus 1. That means fourth term. These two are the median terms. Actually, it is not the median. Median terms and median both are different. Our median terms, or we can write here the middle terms. So third term and fourth term are the middle terms, or the median term. Then what is the median? So the median should be only one number. But here what we got? We got two terms as the middle terms. So median will be third term plus fourth term by 2. You have to make half. So in the example, the third term is 60. Sorry, the third term is 50, and so the middle terms are 50 and 60. We have to take the average for these two terms, 50 plus 60. Third term is 50 plus fourth term is 60 by 2. Then it will become 50 plus 60, that is 110 by 2, that is equal to 55. Here what happened? Observe, for some data the median is, here the median is 50. If one number is added to the data, then it will affect the median, because the median has been changed, 55. So how can you say this 55 is a middle term? Let me explain that. First we will write the question, that is 20, 30, 50, right? 20, 30. We will write the question first, that is 20, 30, 50, 60, 70, and 8. So the 55, the term 55 will be between 50 and 60. So I will write here 55. Just observe. So don't feel it has the fourth term. Just I am counting from the left to right and right to left. 55 should be in the middle. So check first, second, third, fourth. Yes. And from the right side also 55 is the middle term. Check once. Is it correct or not? First, second, third, fourth. So like this we have to find. Here by observing these two examples we can conclude that here the number of terms is 5. 5 means 5 is the odd number. If you get the odd number, if the number of terms is odd number, then the middle term or the median term will be 5 plus 1 by 2 term. Yes. So if we in the next example the number of terms is 6, that means even number. If the number of terms is even number, then the middle terms will be even number by 2 and even one number by 2 plus one term, and the median will be their average. So we can generalize this. How to generalize? If number of terms is odd, then median term is equal to first we should write the number of terms. Number of terms is equal to, I am supposing as n. So if that n is odd number, then the median term will be, we can't make the odd number half. That's why we have to add 1 by 2. n plus 1 by 2 term. This is the median term. Suppose if number of terms is is even, then median terms equal to, here we get two terms, so median terms equal to the n is even, that's why we can make it half, n by 2 comma, and we have to add 1 to the half of n, that is n by 2 plus 1 term. These two terms are the median terms, and the median is equal to n by 2 term plus n by 2 plus 1 term by 2. Actually the median also we are using average if n is even. So let us take one example and we will find the median for that data. We will get a table. Let us take one example. Find the median of the following data, and x and f are given. We have to find out the median for this data. So we have to draw the table like this, and in the first column write x and the next column f, and the third column cumulative frequency. What is this cumulative frequency? So we should find out that. So this cumulative frequency means we have to add the frequencies. First frequency is 4, so write 4, and the next frequency cumulative means we have to add addition. So first two frequencies should be added, that is 4 plus 5, that is equal to 9, and for the third one we have to add the 3, 4 plus 5 plus 8, 4 plus 5 plus 8, that is equal to 17, and for the next we have to add the 4 frequencies, that is 4 plus 8, 5 plus 8 plus 10, 27. Like this we have to add. So 27 plus 7, that is 34, 34 plus 4, 38, 38 plus 2, that is 40. Actually, what is this 4, what is this 9, what is this 17, what is this 27? We have to find. So here suppose if these x values are marks, let us suppose that. So the frequency of 10 is 4. What is the meaning? Here cumulative frequency is 4. What is the meaning of this one? The meaning is the number of students who got less than or equal to 10 marks is 4, and in the second line we got 9. What is this 9? Number of students who got marks less than or equal to 12. So that is 9. So less than 12 in the sense, in that the number of students who got 10 marks also will be present. So these 4 and the next 5 should be added. That's why we got 9. And in the next one, it is 14. The cumulative frequency is 14. That means 14 is 17 we got. That means the number of students who got less than or equal to 14 marks. So less than or equal to 14 marks means the number of students who got 14 is 8. And less than 14, that means 12 marks also will be present in the less than 14. So this is 5. And the students who got 10 marks are 4. So that 4 is also included in the less than or equal to 14. The total is 17. So like this you have to take. Actually this is called less than cumulative frequency. The textbook is not given, but this is less than cumulative frequency. For one value we have to take the less number of students. Suppose, what is this 40? In the last one we got 40. What is this 40? 40 is, so the number of students who got less than or equal to 22 marks. So all these students who got below 22 will be present in this column, that is 40. So like that we have to find. So after getting the cumulative frequency, what should we have to do? The frequency, that is sigma fi, that is equal to 40, because this is 40, there also we get the same. In the median, we will write this sum of the frequency as n. So median means we have to make the number half. So we have to find out the value of n by 2. So n by 2 is equal to 40 by 2, that is equal to 20. Here we got, we should find out the value of n by 2, that is equal to 40 by 2, that is 20. Here, what is this 40? 40 is the even number. So if you get the number of terms is equal to 40, that means even. So the median terms will be 2. Median terms is equal to, we have to make this 40 half. Here I add that is 40 by 2, that is 20th term, and its next term, that is 21st term. Just check this 20th term and 21st term. So this 20th term and 21st term both are present in the 27th. Check this, not present in 17th term, because 20th term is 21st term, it will be in 27th term, but we will get in the 34th term also. But before that, in the 27th term itself, we got 20th term and 21st term. So its relative value, x value is 16. So this 16 will be this is 16. So 20th value is 16 and 21st value is also 16. So median is equal to 20th term plus 21st term by 2. So the 20th term, just we'll go to the table first. So after 17th term, just see this, after 17th term, the 18th term will be 16. The 18th term is 16, 19th term is 16, 20th term is 21st, 22, 23rd, up to 27 terms, we get the value 16 is the 16 will be between 17 and 27. So 20th term and 21st term will be 16 only. So we have to add 16 twice and by 2. We get the same 16 plus 16 by 2, that is equal to 32 by 2, that is equal to 16 is the median for this data. So let us take one small example. So see this, find the median of 20, 20, 25, 25, 25 and 26. See this. So for this data we have to find out the median. So if I have given this in a tabular form, in the frequency distribution tabular form, then it will be, I will convert this into frequency distribution. This is X, this is frequency F. So 20, 25 and 26. So 20 has come twice. That's why its frequency is 2. 25 has come 3 times. It's 3. So 26 has come 1 time. So this is the table. Okay. For this table, this is the question. So in this we have two questions. Just observe. So one is only data is given. It is not tabulated. So for this data, we will write the median. Median is equal to, by seeing itself, we can say that the median will be from first to, this is the number of terms is 6. So third term and fourth term will be the median term. You have to make average 25 plus 25 by 2. That is equal to 50 by 2. That is 25. Median is 25. Suppose if the same question is given like this, then how to find out that? Let us draw a table. This is X, this is F. So 20, 25, 26. So frequency is 2, 3, 1. Here what we need? Cumulative frequency. So adding the frequency 2 plus 3, 5 plus 1, 6. Just observe. So here n is equal to 6. So n is even. So what should we have to do? We will get the two median terms. Median terms equal to 6 by 2 term and 6 by 2 plus 1 term. So this is third term, this is fourth term. These are median terms. So the median will be, just observe, third term and fourth term. The third term and fourth term is present in this cumulative frequency here. Here we will get the third term and fourth term. So its corresponding value is 25. So third term is 25 and fourth term is also 25. How can I say this? Because up to two terms we have 20. After the second term, that means from the third term to fifth term, the value is 25. So third term is 25 plus fourth term is 25 by 2. Just check this one. Here we got the same. So this is raw data. This is frequency, ungrouped frequency distribution table. So both will give the same answer. Previous question, just observe. If you write all these values together, then it takes much time to write. So 10, the frequency of 10 is 4. What does it mean? 10 should be written 4 times. 10, 10, 10, 10. Next 12, 5 times. Next after 10, write 12, 12, 12, 12. Like that 5 times. And 14 should be written 8 times. So the total time, that took more than 10 minutes to write. We have to write the question itself. And after that, we have to find the answer. To avoid that time taking, we have to tabulate it. That means we have to write the raw data as, convert the raw data as frequency distribution table. Like this we will get. Okay, and like this we can find the median, and we will find the mode. How to find out the mode of the data? This is very simple. The number which comes most of the times is mode. Highest number of terms in the sense highest frequency, we can suppose. As we write the star mark, highest number of times is equal to highest frequency. Let us take one example. Suppose 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So what is the mode? Find the mode. How to find the mode here? We have to check highest number of times. A number should come highest number of times. Here 20 has come one time, 30 has come one time, 40 has come one time, 50 same, 60 same. So how can we say the mode? No. Here we can write no mode exists. Because all the numbers have come one time, equal number of times. So all the numbers have come Let us take one more example. Take 30, 20, 50, 20, 50, 20, 50. Check here. First, if the question is like this, then we have to tabulate it. To make this question beautiful, just draw a table. To draw the table, it looks like good, that's it. Write x. Here the frequency, x means values. So the first least value should write 20, then after 30, next 50, write their frequency. 20 has come how many times? 3 times. 30 has come only one time. 50 has come 3 times. So here, is mode exist? Yes, mode exists because all the numbers have not come equal number of times. So one number has come less the number of times. That means here the mode will exist. So that mode is equal to 20 and 50. Two modes. So if we get two modes, then we can say that this question is a bimodal question. It is bimodal. If we get three modes, then it will be trimodal. Suppose if in the same question, just observe the difference. In the same question itself, you are given again 32 times. Then the frequency of 30 will be, instead of 1, we have to write 3. Here what happened? 20 has come 3 times, 30 has come 3 times, 50 has come 3 times. That means their frequencies are equal. So we can't say which number has come more number of times. We can't unable to say. That's why if the question is like this, then we can say that no mode exists. Here we should not write 3 modes exist. Why? Because we have 3 numbers and 3 numbers have come equal number of times. So how can we say which number has come more number of times? All are equal. So if the frequency of all the numbers are equal, then no mode exists. There should be at least one number should be less. Then only we can say that one number is having more frequency. So like this we have to find. So for exercise 9.2, do 5 sums. Thank you. Welcome. Today we will discuss statistics. Let's go through one example, that is example 10. Test scores out of 100 for a class of 20 students as follows. So these are the numbers. Actually these are only 19 numbers, so I have given one more number, that is 84. And for this question we have to find out the make a frequency table taking the class intervals as 91 to 100 and 81 to 90. Actually these class intervals are called inclusive classes. Why these are called inclusive classes? Think once. Previously we have discussed that if the upper limit of the first class interval and then the lower limit of the second class interval are not equal, then they are called inclusive classes. If they are equal, we can call them as exclusive classes. So for this data we have to find out the frequency distribution table. So in the first column we have to take the test scores, or we can take the class intervals, no problem, we can take as to our wish. And the first one is 91 to 100. So we have to count how many numbers are there between 91 to 100. So first of all, this is 93. We will cross them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the frequency is 9. That means the number of students who got the marks between 91 to 100 is 9 numbers. And we take one more, that is 81 to 90. We will count 1, 81 to 92, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the frequency is 6. Next 71 to 80. So we'll just I will correct this 81, 84. So don't take this into consideration. This is 81 to 90. And next one 71 to 80. We will check this also. 71 to 80. 1, 2. Yes, 71 to 80. Yes, this number that will be, suppose you take 80. Okay. Now the frequency will be equal. You can cross them. Next, take one more. That is 61 to 70. 61 to no number is there. And 51 to 60. 51 to 60. 51, yes, here it is 1 and 62. Okay, the total is 20, right? So for this we have to find the second one in the find the model class. The model class is the class containing the greatest frequency. Actually, for this data, to find the model class, in the sense mode, the number which has the highest frequency is called the mode. So here the highest frequency is 9. So 9 student got how many marks? 91 to 100 marks. So this 91 to 100 is called model class. You can write here model class. If it is only one number, then we can call it as a mode. But it is a class interval. That's why we are calling it as model class. So 91 to 100. So there may be the mode will be 91 to 100. Any number we can take. So the next one is the third one, C. Find the interval that contain the median. So we have to find out the median. This is the typical one now. How to find the median? To find the median, what should we have to do? We have to add the frequencies, right? So how to add? Just see once. So from bottom to top we can take 51 to 60. How many numbers? Two members. So write 2 here and just add bottom to top 2 plus 0, that is equal to 2 again. Next take 2 plus 0 plus 3, that is equal to 5. Next 2 plus 0 plus 3 plus 6, that is equal to 11. Next 2 plus 0 plus 3 plus 6 plus 9, that is equal to 20. Here this is cumulative frequency and here is also this is cumulative frequency. How to find what is the meaning of cumulative frequency? We have two kinds of frequencies. One is less than cumulative frequency and another one is greater than cumulative frequency. Less than and greater than. Now we have to think what is less than and what is greater than cumulative frequency. In this question itself, we can take the class interval 51 to 60. Yes, we take that one. So in the class interval 51 to 60, 50 is the least one, okay. That means it is the lower limit, or we can take this is a lower limit and 60 is the upper limit. Less than cumulative frequency means we have to find out the number of students who got less than 51 marks. In the class interval, this is the least class interval 51 to 60. In this class interval, 51 is the lower limit, 60 is the upper limit. For this class interval, we have to write number of students who got below 51. Is it possible? Is it possible? Because 51 is the least mark. How should we find the number of students who got below 51? It is not possible. That's why we should not find the number of students who got below 51 marks. That means 50 is the lower limit. So while finding the less than cumulative frequency, we should not consider the lower limit or lower boundary.
For the same class interval 51 to 60, shall we find the number of students who got below 60? Yes, we can. Why? Because 60 is the upper limit. So that's why we can find the number of students who got below 60, that means less than 60. We can find out. That's why while finding the less than cumulative frequency, we have to take the upper limits or upper boundaries. While writing the less than cumulative frequency, we have to take the upper limit or upper boundary. This you have to remember. And for the same 51 to 60, and we have to write one more, that is greater than cumulative frequency. Greater means highest, we can suppose that. For the greater than cumulative frequency, we have to take the highest class interval, that is 91. In this question, it is 91 to 100. Okay. For this question, is it possible to find the number of students who got more than 100? Is it possible? No, it is not possible. For 91, is it possible? The number of students who got above 91, that means greater than 91, is it possible? Yes, it is possible. That's why while finding the greater than cumulative frequency, we have to take this 91 is the lower limit. So we have to take the lower limit or the lower boundary. Like this you have to remember. Let's go to the question itself. In this, just observe. Here in the textbook, it is given as greater than cumulative frequency, and I did not write anything here, cumulative frequency only I have written. But what I have found here, is it less than cumulative frequency or greater than cumulative frequency? Let us discuss now first. So here the cumulative frequency is 20. It is 20. What the 20 says? This 20 is number of students who got below 100 marks. The number of students who got below 100. What is 100? 100 is the upper limit. So I will write here upper limit. So the upper limit is 100. So the number of students who got below 100 is 20 students. And for the next class interval, the upper limit is 90. So I will write 90. The number of students who got below 90 is 11 members. And for the next class interval, it is 80. So number of students who got below 80 marks is 5 members. And for the next class interval is 70. The number of students who got below 70 is 2 members. And the next one is 60. The number of students who got below 60 is 2 members. Just observe. Here, is it greater than cumulative frequency or less than cumulative frequency? Below 100, less than 100 we are finding. That means I have found the less than cumulative frequency. This is less than cumulative frequency. But in the textbook, just observe the textbook answer, that is 20, 20 equal 11, 11, 5, 5, 2, 2, 2, 2. What happened here? Here one printing mistake is given, that is greater than cumulative frequency. This is a printing mistake. So these all are the frequencies of less than cumulative frequency. But then what is greater than cumulative frequency? Now we will find. Greater than, that means for 100 we cannot find greater than 100. That's why we have to take 91. What is 91 here? 91 is the lower limit. So while finding the greater than cumulative frequency, we have to take the lower limits or lower boundaries. Here I will write lower boundary or lower limit. So the lower limit is 91. Just check once. The number of students who got above 91 is 9 members. And for the next class interval, we have to take the lower limit again, that is 81. Here, the number of students who got below 81, sorry, above 81. The number of students who got above 81 means these 9 members and also these 6 members. So that is 9 plus 6, that is equal to 15. And for the next class interval, the lower limit is 71. The number of students who got above 71, greater than 71, that means, so these 3 members will come in the class interval above 71, and these 6 members also will satisfy the condition, that is above 71, and these 9 members also. So we have to add these 3, that is 9 plus 6 plus 3, that is equal to 18. And next class interval lower limit is 61. So the number of students who got greater than 61, that means these 4 members, 9 plus 6 plus 3 plus 0, these 4 frequencies, 9 plus 3 is equal to 18 again because it is 0. And take the next one, that is lower limit is 51. So the number of students who got above 51, greater than 51 means all the students. So that will be 9 plus 6 plus 3 plus 0 plus 2, that is equal to 20. Just observe how to write the greater than cumulative frequency and less than cumulative frequency. So for that, this question will be in 10th class. So we have to draw the graphs, the Gaussian graphs. There also you have to find. So just to know the difference. So many students will, while finding the greater than cumulative frequency, so here the word is there, greater than, that's why they will take the greater number, that means upper limit they will take, but we should not take that. While writing the greater than cumulative frequency means just take a logic, that is the highest greater than, that means for one number, suppose the highest, first we should take the highest class interval. Suppose the highest class interval is, in this question itself it is 91 to 100. So in this, the highest upper, that means highest in the sense upper limit, that is 100. Is it possible to find the number of students who got more than 100? No, it is not possible. That's why you have to take 91. Then what is 91? That is lower limit. That's why, so while writing the greater than cumulative frequency, you have to take the lower limit. And while writing the less than cumulative frequency, you have to take the upper limit. Why here we have to take the upper limit? So we are writing the less than cumulative frequency. Less means take the less class interval, least class interval, that is 51 to 60. In this, is it possible? So students will think that here we have the word less than. That's why we have to take the least limit, that means lower limit. So for the 51, is it possible to find the number of students who got below 51? No, that's why I will take 60. What is 60? Upper limit or upper boundary. So that we have to take. So like this you have to find the cumulative frequencies. So both greater than cumulative frequency and less than cumulative frequency. So here in this question itself it is given, find the interval that contains median. So while finding the median, we have to find the sum of frequency, that is n. N is equal to 20 we got. So 20 is even number. That's why it has 2 terms as the median terms. So then n by 2, that is equal to 20 by 2. So it is 10th term and the next term, that is 11th term. These two are median terms. So we have to find out the median terms. So in the cumulative frequency, check the 10th term and 11th term. Check once. So from the bottom to you have to take, because these class intervals are written in the descending order. That's why you have to take from the ascending order. Just once, take this one. So first two numbers are 51 to 60 only. First two numbers. And next two numbers, same 61 to 70, no number is there. That's why only we have 51 to 60 only. So next fifth one, up to 5 terms, we have 61 to 70. And up to 11 terms, up to 11 terms. That means after fifth term, that will be sixth term, seventh. So after fifth, the sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th and 11th terms are between 71 to 80. This is the class interval. So the numbers which are between 71 to 80, these numbers will start from sixth term, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. That's why the class interval, the median class will be the 10th term and 11th term. 10th and 11th are 71 to 80 terms. So the median class is equal to 71 to 80. Like this we have to find. Suppose so for this question we have to find the mean, mode and median. So while finding the mean, mode, median, we have to write the numbers in the ascending order first. For the mean, no need, but we can write, no problem. 10, comma, 20, 25, 30 has come twice, and 40, 40 and 50. How many times? 4, 4, 4, 8. 4, 4, 8, right. So for this we will find out mean. Sum of observations by number of, we can add all these. 10 plus 20, 30, 25, 55, 85, 115, 155, 195, 245. 245 by how many terms are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. So 8 30s are 240. Point 8 7s are 56. Sorry, 8 6 are 48. 28 to 65. 30.625. That is the mean. And we will find out the median. So first we should write the number of terms. So number of terms is equal to 8. Then the median terms is equal to, just make half, fourth term and fifth term. First you write the fourth term and fifth term. So in this question the fourth term is 30, fifth term is also 30. So the median is equal to fourth term 30 plus fifth term 30 by 2, 60 by 2, that is equal to 30. And we will find out the mode. The number which has the highest frequency is called mode. So in this question 30 has frequency 2 and 40 also same. So the modes are 30 comma 40. Now if I add 10 to each number, I will add 10. Then is there any effect on mean, mode, median? What will the relation we get? We will check now. We will add 10 to each number. Then 10 will become 20, 20 will become 30, like that we will write. So the next one is 10, sorry 20, 30, and there we have number 25. So we can add 10, it will become 35, and 2 times 30. So we get 40, 40. And we have 40, that means here it is 50, 50, 60. Check once, add 10 to the numbers. So 20, 30, 20, 30, 35, 40, 40, 50, 50, 60, right. So for these numbers we have to write the mean. Same, sum of all the terms, 20 plus 30, 50, 50 plus, or we can add like this, 20, 30, 50, 30, 80, 40, 120, 120, 160, 260, 260, 325, 325 by same numbers, 8. So 8 4 is 32, 840 is 320, 0.86 are 48, 20, 8 to the 16, 40.625. There in the previous one we got the mean as 30.625, now we got 40.625. Then what happened here? If 10 is added to each number, then the mean will be increased by 10, and we will find the mode also, mode and median also. Let's find out the median. Same, fourth term plus fifth term by 2. Fourth term is 40, fifth term is also 40. So 40 plus 40 by 2, that is equal to 80 by 2, that is equal to 40. Here what happened? Actually the median was 30, but now what happened? 40. That means median is increased by 10. Same, if 10 is added to each number, then the median is increased by 10. Let's find out the mode. Same, the mode will be 40, 50. So mode is also increased by 10. For you, I have added 10, for each number I have added 10, but you have to subtract and you can multiply, you can divide, then you have to check what will happen to the modes and means and the medians. You have to check that. I have added 10, you can add, you can subtract same 10, you can multiply, you can divide, so like that. And we go through one more example. So let us discuss one more question from exercise 9.2, that is 9th one. The mean weight of 3 students is 40 kg. The mean weight of 3 students is 40 kg. So what does it mean? We have to take the 3 numbers or 3 weights. Suppose let the 3 weights are A, B, C, and one of the students Ranga weighs 46 kg and one person's weight is given, that is Ranga weighs 46 kg. So among these 3, one number is 46. So let us take A is equal to 46 kg. Next, the other 2 students Rahim and Reshma have the same weight. So these 2 students have the same weight, that means B and C. So B is equal to C. So let us take that is equal to x kg, and we have to find the mean. So mean is equal to sum of observations by number of observations, that is 46 plus x by number of students is 3. So mean is equal to, the mean is 40, simplification. So the denominator 3 should comes to the right side, left side, then it will be 40 into 3. So we can write here 46 plus 2x and send this 46 to another side, then it will become 40 into 3 120, and 46 comes to here minus 46, that is equal to 2x. X is equal to 120 minus 46, that is 74. So by 2, then by simplification we get 37 x. So x is equal to 37. So x means the weight of Rahim and Reshma. No? So the weight of Rahim is equal to 37 kg. And the same, the weight of Reshma is equal to 37 kg. Like this we have to find. And we take one more question, that is 11th one. Here it is. There are 4 unknown numbers. The mean of first 2 numbers is 4. So let us take the 4 numbers. Let us assume the 4 numbers as A comma B comma C comma D, and the mean of first 2 numbers is 4. So the mean A plus B by 2, this is mean, and this mean is equal to how much? 4. So that A plus B is equal to 2 comes to another side, will become 2 into 4. The next step, write A plus B is equal to 8. So keep this in a box. Right? Next, take one more. That is, and the mean of first 3 is 9. So write A plus B plus C is equal to 9. A plus B plus C by 3 is equal to 9, because the mean of 3 numbers is 9. So we can simplify this. A plus B plus C is equal to 9 into 3. So we can substitute the value of A plus B, because we know A plus B, that is 8. So 8 plus C is equal to 27. So C is equal to 27 minus 8. We can write C is equal to 19. We can draw a box here. And next condition, the mean of all 4 numbers is 15. Okay, mean of all 4 numbers, that means A plus B plus C plus D by 4 is equal to 9. Sorry, 15. So A plus B plus C plus D is equal to 15 into 4. So that will be 60. And we get here A plus B plus C. See this one. So A plus B plus C is equal to how much? So here we got A plus B plus C is equal to 9 into 3, 27. We can substitute that. Or we know A plus B, that is 8. So in the place of A plus B, write 8. Plus in the place of C, we got 19 plus D. So 27 plus D is equal to 60. D is equal to 60 minus 27. So D is equal to 33. Now we got C and D. Next, if one of the 4 numbers is 2, find the other. So take the first one, A plus B is equal to 8. From this we can take one number, any number. Suppose A is 2, then 2 plus B is equal to 8. So B is equal to 8 minus 2. So B is equal to 6. So like this we have to find. So you can complete exercise 9.2. From 6 to 10 sums.